The innovations he brought, the risks. Talk about a risk taker. This guy didn't do anything safe.
He was the first. Walt Disney was the first person to marry animation with music, with a click track. And Steamboat Willie, what people don't realize is it wasn't innovative because of the character. Mickey Mouse became famous after that, but he was the first person to make cartoons musical. He was the first person to really make television, color television widespread. He was the first person to do Fantasound.
Feature film animation.
And feature-length film animation, right, with Snow White. And if you ever read a biography of his, it's amazing how he let everything ride all the time and risked it all. And that's, I think we both draw a lot of inspiration from people like him, and the idea of us bringing our sensibility to the Disney properties, we'll see it's a long road. But there's a wonderful opportunity to use all of the techniques you're talking about, because with Magic Kingdom we're talking about combining all of those things, whether it's stop motion, whether it's 3D, 2D, we're going to figure that out, but using different techniques to give a nostalgic feel to something that I think will satisfy families, but I think it's through the technical innovation, the insight, the nostalgia, inspiration that it's going to appeal to all audiences.
We also get to spend a shitload of time at the park consulting research. I mean, one of the best days in my adult life is when they opened the Haunted Mansion for me at 5 a.m. when the park was empty, and I walked for 3 hours the entire mansion by foot. Holy crap.
Yes.
And it was research. Little did they know. And you know what I did? I hid a quarter and a dime in the attraction that will never be found. Coming!
I was there. I did the tour, and with Tony Baxter.
Tony.
Who's a
genius
Imagineer, who's might be here tonight. I know he's at Comic-Con and comes all the time. And just a tour of Imagineering was amazing, just to see how they come up with it. And they showed me your attraction that your addition to the Haunted Mansion. You're allowed to talk about
Hatbox Ghost, yeah.
The old Hatbox Ghost. To people who know, there we go.
Coming back.
A legendary character from the original Haunted Mansion. And when I did the walking tour, they showed me the plate. I'm sure you know where it was, where the Hatbox Ghost originally was. And there they had.
My dime is very close by.
Could we talk about? You can't talk about the Haunted Mansion without talking about Bleak House. Do you mind if I bring up this?
Please do. Yeah.
Bleak House is. Has anybody heard of Bleak House? I did the Hollywood Reporter this week, and I was trying to get a photo spread of Bleak House, but Guillermo's very busy working on his movie. I'm sure we're going to talk about that. And he informed me there's can I talk about it as a book?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a book coming out, a coffee table book of photography of this. Now, I've been there, so let me just give you a little sense of what this is and why it's important. Guillermo bought a whole separate house for all his shit, is what it comes down to. And he converted every room into a different library with a different theme. And there is everything from original Bernie Wrightson etchings to sketches from Fantasia to original poster art, movie memorabilia, everything from his films, and it's all like one big haunted house, and it has the Haunted Mansion emblem when you go into the door.
It has a special room in Haunted Mansion behind the bookshelf.
Behind a hidden bookshelf is...
And the rain room, when it rains 7 days a week, 24 hours. Like the Tiki room. Because I'm a weird fat motherfucker. but finance.
And he brought me and Edgar Wright and myself?
Edgar Wright. I have the car outside. That is the car from the movie The Car.
In your backyard?
The James Brolin movie. I replicated that car, and that's what I drive in LA now.
It's amazing. So it's like it's scary too, because it's all horrible, disgusting, realistic. It's all that weird freak show, macabre artwork, but it makes a huge impression. So when that book comes out,
but I think that both of us come from a fan point of view. I mean, when you talk to John, And we have had dinners, like we had that night, we had dinner with Edgar Wright, and we talked for many, many hours, and it's talking to a fan. Like, he knows the issues, he knows the different iterations of Iron Man, amongst other things. But like we can talk about this artist, Mike Plug, or we can talk about Bernie or Mobius, or any artist we want to talk about. And it's refreshing for me, because a lot of people that tackle big properties, they tackle them for money or career, but they don't tackle them because they have a boner for it. And I think you have to get a chubby to tackle. I think it's very important to do only things you absolutely love.
Guillermo, the book about Bleak House, when does that come out?
The book is going to be edited by Palace Press, and it's going to be a combination of reproductions of all my sketchbooks and Bleak House. Because essentially what it is like a peek inside the Range brain, and I think it certainly will sell 2 or 3 issues. I'll buy 2 or 3.
Your new film, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, is also set in a scary, cool house, and
which reminds people about Bleak House.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it looks a little bit like it.
And well, back to the movie, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. It's based on an ABC movie that had a huge impact on you as a kid. Can you describe the circumstances by which you actually saw that film?
Well, I saw it as a kid, and I literally, when I was a kid, the TV stuff was probably what caused the most impression. I mean, The Shining, Alien, and Jaws all freaked me out in the theater. Alien, literally, I went under the seat. Literally, is not a figure of speech. In the same way that it's not a figure of speech, when I was watching Night Gallery as a kid, I saw an episode called The Doll, and I literally, I'm not making, I peed. I started screaming and I lost control of my sphincter. And then my father had to tranquilize me. Like, touch, pop, pop, But I could get that scared. Only once. But I think this movie was one of the scariest things I saw as a kid. And my brothers and I used to chase each other saying, Sally, Sally, And I always wanted to recreate it, but recreate it like a dark fairy tale. And honor the little designs. The creatures were so funkily deranged and beautiful. We wanted to honor that. So, it's very much that spirit of the classic spooky movie with moments of great intensity.
Yeah. I think we have just a couple brief hints, teases of the movie here. Just real quick stuff. Can we
Sure.
roll those clips?
One of the last panels I got into, which actually wasn't my favorite panel because it's not my favorite group of people. It was the new Doctor Who panel about the new season that was on over the summer. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Doctor Who. In fact, I grew up watching Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant. My problem is, I loved them back then, and then when they were off the air, I was saying, I was sad, but I was happy. I thought, yeah, that was a perfect conclusion to a perfect TV show. And then when it gets rebooted, everyone sort of ignores the fact, and they're just like, oh, this is cool again, let's watch this. And back when I liked it, nobody's like, oh, I've never heard of that show. Now all of a sudden that it's on with Matt Smith, they're just like, oh, this is great, I've liked it the whole time. I'm like, no, you haven't. You haven't. You haven't. I just can't get into Matt Smith. To me, he's just, it's like he's trying to be David Tennant, and I don't like that. But anyway, I did enjoy myself at the panel. I waited very long to get in. It was the last day, I didn't really care. But I got the footage, and I got what I needed, and I had a good trip. So, here's the Who panel. You like down this one?
Yeah, set.
And it's not something that ever fades either. When I went up to go onto set when they were filming my last episode, you still, and actually went into the.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Big Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Of course. question is for Matt and Karen. My question for you guys is, what is your favorite alien race? Favorite alien race? I really like the Sisters of Plenitude. Is that, you know, the cats. The nurse cats. They think they're actually quite nice.
Yeah. I'm into the Sisters of Plenitude, absolutely. I like the Angels are my favourite, Weeping Angels. That's it.
Smart.
Yeah.
In the same vein, can I ask to go down the line, if you take Matt out of the equation, your favorite Doctor recipient?
Wow, that's a pretty tough question. Well, I think beside Matt, Tom Baker for me, because
I really struggled to take Matt out of the line, but I would second
I'm trying to be fair.
Tom Baker, yeah.
I would say, Jim would say Matt, and then after that, I guess either Tom Baker or David Tennant.
And I like Chris Eccleston.
I like Troughton's it's so hard, isn't it? Because, you know, what's so wonderful about this show is that everyone has their Doctor. And so hopefully in like 20 years' time, there'll be 5-year-olds going, and there'll be 25 going, yeah, Matt Smith was my Doctor, and Amy Pond was the companion and stuff. Oh, thank you so much. That's very sweet. That's the beauty of the show, I think.
Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for my documentary about Comic-Con. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, Snake Charmer Studios. Like this video. Send me a friend request. Just do anything. Comment on this video. Stay in tune for DVD reviews, short films, and comic book reviews, and anything you want, I'll do it. I've got a lot of videos coming up, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next year.